Alishan National Scenic Area. Up there it's written Chaxiang, smell of tea. All around here it's full of tea gardens and tea factories. And you know what? I'm not even within the Alishan township. Let's find out more. This is nannuoshan. I'm Gabriele and I'm pretty tired. I've been running all the way up, well, from the valley there, and all the way tea trees, tea gardens, tea factories on every side of the road. Everywhere is written Alishan, but I am actually in Fanlu. Now, Alishan, when you think at Alishan, you think at a mountain, because Shan in Chinese means mountain. Now, Alishan is also the name of a township, so of a whole region. Slowing down a little bit, otherwise I'm not able to talk. The Alishan township extends for about 20-25 kilometers south to north and 20 kilometers east to west. Now, it's a big mountain area. The Alishan mountain itself is pretty much halfway south north and all the way to the east. They are constructing here, so it's actually not really possible to run, and actually it is forbidden to be here. It was blocked the way. But I want to reach a peak that it is in this direction, so I just squeezed through. Not easy though. Down here, the tea trees or tea bushes have already been harvested for the year, so they have already drastically pruned them. While on this side, they are probably planning more picking. And you see they plant tea here up to the summit. So I made it to the summit. It's nearly impossible to go higher than here. Maybe there are another 5 meters, but it's full of tea gardens. 1,470 meters, as said, in the Fanlu township. To be more precise, Shiding is the name of the village. Well, have you ever heard of Fanlu or Shiding High Mountain Tea? Me not. And well, what do you think? If the government basically advertised this whole area as Alishan, how would these tea farmers call their tea? Actually, when you leave Jai, which is the name of a city, but also the name of the county in which I am and in which Alishan township is, when you leave the city towards east, towards the mountain, as soon as the mountain starts, is for everyone already actually Alishan area. So you can imagine this huge area, not only the Alishan township, which is already pretty big with 20 times 20 kilometers, but wider than that, that everyone here referred to as Alishan. So all the tea that we get also to the US and to Europe with the Alishan label can come from these places as well. Actually can even come from farther away. That's kind of tea smuggling and is not correct. but actually this tea here for the locals is 100% Alishan. For those that have been following my adventures, after I left Lugu, I went by bus on a very comfortable ride actually, all the way to Taichung. There I visited Simon and I stayed with Simon and Jamin for a couple of days. We had many teas and we also visited their tea room. Really beautiful. If you end up in Taichung, you have to visit Xiong tea room. And then from there, actually, I had pretty much done with tea because I already bought way more than I should buy. And if I continue traveling in tea plantation area for nannuoshan's budget, it won't be very good. So I went to Tainan in the south for some good food because it's famous for good food and some sightseeing. And then, as always, I met someone that suggested coming up here to see some tea areas. It would be too long of a stretch to go to Alishan itself, the real mountain, which is kind of 40 kilometers, more than 1 hour drive to the mountain that way. And so we just came up here and yeah, I used the opportunity for some fresh air. Whoa, arrived. Whoa. It was really a nice one actually. 1 hour 10, climbed 500 meters. It felt much harder than that, but that's how it is. It's also pretty hot. Now let me tell you another little story since we are here in Jai County. Well, you know my name. I repeat it all the time at the start of the video. Gabriele. Now, for Chinese native speaker, it's very hard to pronounce. I never met a person that was able to do so. Even the American version, Gabriel, it's pretty hard. So already 10 years ago, I was given a Chinese name. Now, originally my Chinese name was Jabu, because one of my nickname is Gabo, and Jabu is kind of similar. Ja is the same Ja as in Jai, the county I am now, and means beautiful. Now, that beautiful has actually nothing to do with me, and I was then changed name because Jabu, that Bu is negative, has a negative connotation in Chinese, so they gave me Jamu, and Jamu means beautiful wood. And in this case, Jamu is a reference to the tea plant. When you read the first book ever written about tea from Lu Yu, the Chaching, on the first page, he refers to the tea plant as that beautiful wood. So, Jamu.
Open air, side by side we sway there in all the colors. Sunlight.
After a quick shower, we moved on and we came to the Meishan township. Sally brought us to this beautiful tea house. Let me show the menu. Triangle Tea House, and it's located not too far from Alishan itself. In fact, from the garden, just looking on the other side of the valley, you can glimpse into the Alishan mountain itself. But officially speaking, we are in Meishan. We have been ordering a few oolongs here. They all are produced in this area. They have a little garden here at the tea house and the larger production just up the hill behind here. What plants they have? They have, of course, oolong, so what here it's called oolong, Qingxin. They have also Qingxin Dapang, and it's interesting actually to look at the difference between the two different plants, because the Qingxin Dapang is actually more elongated in the shape, slightly longer leaves than the Qingxin. They also have Jinshuan, and they produce pretty much everything. So oolong, Hong oolong, Hong cha, black tea, and also some experimental white tea. Interestingly, they have also Camellia sinensis variety formosensis, which here in Taiwan is a cultivar, a variety called actually Taiwan Shancha. It is an endemic variety here in Taiwan, differently than Qingxin, which was imported from Fujian, and Jinshuan, which was developed here in Taiwan as a cultivar in the 80s. And now with Alishan behind my shoulder, immersed in the clouds, and with my belly pretty full of tea and delicious snacks, it's time to reveal the big question that is up in the air in this video. What is Alishan Tea? Well, as we said, Alishan is just one mountain, the one here in the back, but it's also the name of a whole township. As a matter of fact, the government, or actually the Taiwan Tea Institution, decided that tea from 4 different townships is allowed to be called Alishan Tea, Alishan High Mountain Tea. So basically, these 4 townships are considered the big Alishan area. These are, of course, Alishan, also Fanlu, which is the place where I was before running, then Meishan, which is the place where I am right now, and Juqi, which is a 4th different township. In Meishan, this very place here, is where most of the high mountain production takes place. About 40% of the original Alishan tea on the market come from Meishan, and here is also when they have the largest tea competition in the Jiayi county. It is actually happening right now in these days, and out at work, the farmer bring their tea to there, about 13 kilogram per tea. To participate, they have to pay 2,500 Taiwan dollar for each tea. So if they want, they can participate with multiple teas. There will be about 600 different teas. The judges will taste them and will assign the prices. Now, it's not that, again, there is only one first prize, one second prize, and one third prize. There is actually 8% of the participant that is assigned first prize. Then there is 15% of the participant is the second prize, and the remaining gap to a total of 40% is for the third prize. So you see that only 60% of the participants don't get to the podium, but 40% of the participants get to the podium. And this is just to push a little bit the overall economy, right? It's the way it is. We've seen it was very similar also for Dongding tea. There is another point also. We speak about Alishan Oolong as a high mountain oolong because Alishan is a mountain. But as a matter of fact, in these 4 townships that I mentioned, there are different altitudes, right? And the tea production starts actually at about 500 meters above sea level and goes on Alishan up to above 2000. This means that not only authentic Alishan tea come from townships that are not Alishan and different mountains, but even that it can actually come from fairly low altitude, because 500 meter is not much more than Mingjian and is even below Dongding tea.